All right, let's talk about a revolution. Not one you'd see on the news, but one that's happened right in your shopping cart. We're going to dig into the massive, seismic shift in how we all buy things, and believe it or not, it's pretty much all down to social media.
I mean, seriously, just for a second, try to remember. What was it like wandering through actual stores, maybe flipping through a dusty old catalog or circling something with a pen in a newspaper ad? Feels like a different century, doesn't it?
You know, what started out as a way to just connect with old friends or see what your family was up to, well, it ended up completely changing the game. It fundamentally altered the entire relationship between you, the person with the wallet, and the brands trying to get your attention. It's not just a tweak, it's a total rewrite of the rulebook. So, to really get a handle on just how much things have changed, we've got to jump in a little time machine. Let's take a quick trip back and see what shopping was like in the before times. Back then, the way you bought something was pretty darn simple. You could break it down into these three basic phases. And this was the path for pretty much everything, whether you were buying a new pair of jeans or picking out a refrigerator. So in that first phase, the pre-purchase phase, your world was pretty small. Your awareness of a product depended entirely on what a brand decided to push at you. You know, through a newspaper ad, a radio spot, a big billboard. You weren't pulling information in. It was being shoved at you. Shopping was often just a reaction. You'd see a big red sale sign and think, maybe I should go in. You had almost no control. And then, when you actually got in the store, you were basically trapped in a little local bubble. Your options were only what was physically on the shelves in front of you. There was no easy way to check if the store across town had a better price or a different style. A better option might be out there, but you couldn't get to it. You were totally limited by geography and by the clock. Okay, now let's hit the fast forward button. The internet arrives, and right on its heels, social media. And this is where everything gets turned upside down. And boom, the entire journey is flipped on its head. That old straight line just shatters into a million pieces. Before, you waited for an ad. Now, you've got instant access to deals, sales, and price comparisons in your pocket. During the purchase, the walls of the store just dissolved. Now you have a nearly infinite selection guided by ratings from real people. And after, if something's wrong, forget waiting on hold. A single public tweet can get a faster response than any customer service line ever could. Okay, so who's actually figuring this new world out? Some brands are just lost, but others, they totally get it. Let's look at a few who are absolutely crushing it with the new rules of social commerce. First up is Etsy. Now, here's their brilliant move. They don't just sell stuff to us. They realized their sellers, the actual creators, are a community. So they made a dedicated Facebook page, Etsy Success, just for them. By helping their sellers succeed with tips and support, they make the whole community stronger, which makes the marketplace way better for us, the buyers. It's genius. And then you've got Airbnb. They almost never just show you a pretty room with a generic Book Now button. No, they're smarter than that. Their social media is like a scrapbook of real stories with real photos from actual travelers. They're not selling a room, they're selling the experience. And they're super savvy about it too, using Twitter for quick hits for business travelers and Facebook for bigger, more emotional brand stories. Sephora just took community to a whole different level. I mean, sure, they're masters of Instagram and Pinterest. That's a given. But here's the wild part. They built their own social network called the Beauty Board. Think about that. Instead of just participating in the conversation on other platforms, they built a house for the conversation, a single hub for all their most passionate fans to hang out. So when you put all of this together, the totally new way we shop, the smart strategies these brands are using, it all points to the single biggest change of all, a complete flip in who holds the cards. At its heart, this whole revolution is really about closing the distance. That old chasm between the big, faceless brand and you, the customer, it's pretty much gone. As researcher Amol Gamut puts it so well, social media has reduced the gap between consumer and seller. So, the bottom line is this simple. Power has moved. It used to be held by the seller. Now, it's held by you, the consumer. Your voice, which used to be limited and private, is now amplified and public. And trust, It's no longer built by a slick TV ad, it's built by the honest, sometimes brutal, reviews of your peers. You're not just a shopper anymore. You're a node in a massive, powerful network. Which leaves us with one final big question to chew on. In this new world where literally every customer is walking around with a global megaphone in their pocket, who's really in control? Is it the brands? Is it the social media platforms themselves? Or maybe, just maybe, is it finally us?